I am not here to debate with anyone. I have devoted all of my adult life to this subject. I only debate with my equals. All others I teach.
Greetings and salutations. Um, I'm gonna say something about my rare appearance. Um, I'm am troubled by what I heard. Um, I'm aware of what's going on, but I didn't know it was that bad. Um, I didn't know it was that damn bad. Hold on. Let me do this real quick. Okay, got that out the way. Yeah, I had another window open and I didn't want that to let's say something on that other window. I don't want no sounds coming out of that. What's going on, V Dub? Yeah. Yeah, V Dub. It's wild on these streets, on the YouTube streets. Um yeah, I made my rare appearance. Don't think that's a comeback. I just made my rare appearance because I saw she was live and I was seeing what was going on and what I heard. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah. That's why I made my rare appearance because somebody asked me, Big J, you coming back? Nope, no. I just happened to saw what's going on and well, see what was going on. Then when I heard what I heard, I said, damn. You know, I'm not surprised by what I heard, and can some she said she was talking about her move and then yeah 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 Dookie loves to troll. Yeah, I'm not coming back to that sector. Fuck that. I ain't coming back. I just see what she was talking about. I heard what was being said. I say what the fuck, you know. But I'm not surprised by it. I'm not surprised by that. I already full well know that what was going on. Years ago. So, um, hold on. He said, when we gonna have a movie panel? I'm down on horror movies. I hope sometime. I don't know. I hope sometime in the near future. I hope uh in the near future, Rich Raider Rich. Uh, but yeah. But ask for her, right? Ask for her. I'm talking about Cat, right? I hope Cat. I wish her the best. Um, I wish her the best. I wish her and her husband, right off to the sunset. It seems though she's enjoying herself. Uh, her and her husband enjoying herself, themselves, and making that move. So I give my toast to them. But the other stuff, yeah, I'm just like, yeah, that shit was crazy. Okay. Um, and I'm gonna say something too though, because I'm not. It has nothing to do with her per se. It's the other shit. How can y'all be? I'm talking about the women. How can y'all be so fucking simple minded? Everybody else can see it except for you. Now I know I'm segueing, but now Vita, you saw it. How can y'all be so simple-minded when everybody else can see it except for you? Now, I could go petty about it and say what I want to say. Hold on, shit. Man, listen. I didn't watch the last two. I ain't watched the last two Predator movies. I stopped watching Predator when they went to when the one that's called Predators, when they went to the planet of the Predators. That's the last Predator movie I saw. The new Predator lore is kind of good. Okay. Yeah, I didn't watch Prey. Prey, listen, I like the concept of Prey going back to the 1700s or the 1600s, something like that, where like they're fighting, where like okay, I only saw this one clip where she had the bear when she went when the pret when she tricked the if I'm not mistaken, didn't she trick the bear to fight the predator? The Native American girl, like she tricked the predator was chasing her, so she went to where the bears was at, and the bear was fighting the predator. Yeah, yeah, I like that scene from the clip. See, that was smart. Use an animal like the bear to fight the predator as she trying to fight the predator, and she was trying to the I think that she was trying. If I'm not mistaken, didn't she try to prove herself with the tribe, the warrior tribe? Yeah, Prey was good. That's how Danny Glover got the gun in Predator 2. Listen. They need to make another Predator with Danny Glover and Arnold Schwarzenegger. Um, they need to make Danny Glover and Arnold, since they're up in age. Just do them two fighting the Predator for one last time. That's what they need to do. You know. But getting back from last night, right? Um, I need to. Oh, okay. The Predator kill her brother. Okay, okay. That was in Prey. Okay. Um, getting back from last night, I want to know what the fuck happened last night. Oh, the Predators can't fight them again because they beat them in a sense. Well, I would like to at least see a scene of Doom 2, like a cameo scene where they're discussing their experiences. You know, what I'm talking about. So something that happened on another sector that I wander into, and I know some of what went on years ago. I didn't know it came to the head. So Queen, that's yeah. I went off to the original sector, and yeah, I was trying to see what the hell going on, and uh, anyway, you know what? Let me get out of that other sector, because I told old dude that was my rare appearance. You ain't gonna see me make another appearance in a long. This is gonna take years for me to come back in there over there. I just see what's happening. Let's see. Is that Smitty in the chat room? Is that Smitty? What's good, baby? What the hell are you talking to? What's good? Who the hell is this? What's good, baby? Who you saying? Who are you calling baby? Hold on. Is this a male? Hold on. Is this a I hope that's a female. I hope that's a female saying this shit. Hold on. Let me see who this is. Who the hell calling me baby? Or they calling Queen baby? Or is there another woman is? But I'm okay. Let's see who this is. All right. I guess that's a guy, but I don't know why you saying that. Yeah. Anyway, let me keep it pushing. Let me keep that pushing. That was weird, but let me keep it pushing. But um, I'm just rambling this morning. Um, I, Let me just sit here and say this though, right? I hope that that's the end of that chapter over there. I hope that ends that chapter because you know, anyway, of abuse. I hope that ends it over there with all that abuse and stuff. But I was going to do a live stream about Bill O'Reilly and Roland Martin. You know, Roland Martin's getting on my nerves, right? Roland Martin's getting on my nerves because Queen. Let me tell you. Okay, Queen. Somebody got arrested for abuse, and it's somebody I know. Now let me talk about my issues with Roland Martin. I don't like Roland because he's part of that Signify, Greek organizations, and he's doing that WD Du Bois bullshit. Okay, um, that talented tent shit concerning the Target uh with Jamal Bryant, right? And Jamal Bryant's a fuck up. I don't know why people. Oh man, I can't stand the talent tent. I can't stand them niggas. Okay, and, I remember in college they thinking, people will say I'm arrogant. Niggas will say I'm actually arrogant. But you talent tent niggas, I can't stand y'all. It's going to take us to do. No, nigga, shut the fuck up. You always want to pick the light skinned niggas on top. Now I'm very when I say conservative, I'm conservative on how when it comes to presentation and demeanor, right? I'm conservative on that level, right? I think men should dress and present themselves in a way, and and present themselves in a certain character and certain lot um in a certain tone, right? Especially when you in politics, you trying to change the social dynamics, but you can't just be cosmopolitan and be like Right. That's thank you. Thank you. He didn't want old girl to talk over there. Yeah. And that's why, man, she went and popped off on his ass. That's why she went and popped off on his ass because Roland was gaslighting the fuck out of her. He gaslight. She was the one that was in Minneapolis with Don Lemon. She was the woman that went into that church with Don Lemon, uh, going after ICE. So she's the one who started and spearheaded the Target uh thing, right? The Target boycott. And I don't understand why the black community, you know what, fuck it. The black community of Georgia, the Atlanta types. Why do y'all gravitate to Jamal Bryant, knowing that Jamal Bryant got chased out of Baltimore? Jamal Bryant got chased out of Baltimore when he was a Methodist, and now he want to be a Baptist preacher who was a Methodist preacher. Y'all don't sit there and see a problem with that. He got chased out of Baltimore, went down south, became a Baptist, and took over Eddie Long's church after Eddie Long got exposed of being what he was doing the young boys, and took over that church and became a Baptist and edged himself up in there. You know, I really don't understand about how people follow the mega church. I really don't understand why y'all follow the mega church. See, this is where I agree with David Carroll. This is where I agree with David Carroll about when it comes to that black pastor and that black church. Is talk, you know, like that time when I remember this time back in 2000 and what was it, 16, 17? Yeah, it was after the election. It was after the election, and there was a guy named Mr. Conservative. Hold on. Did I sure didn't. I heard about that. You know, I might do a live stream later on about that. I'm not sure. I might do a live stream late how that CNN got clowned him. That clowned him on CNN. But this is what happens when y'all follow a charlatan like Jamal Bryant. All that little fake ass bullshit. The day of the black. See, let me tell you something about black men. No, you see, I'm about to go here. Somebody gonna say, Big J, you gonna hate on black men. This is the reason why black male leadership is not trusted. Jamal Bryant is a good example why the leadership of black men will be trusted, especially from a dark skinned black man. I might want to go. Do I really want to go there on this? Do I really want to go up on this? And this is the reason why I said yesterday, and V-Dub said in the chat room, presentation is everything, especially if you're a dark-skinned black person. You gotta dot every I and cross every fucking T. So when it comes to Jamal Bryant and every other black pastor, because black men, especially by especially by black men, because black men, when it comes to our leadership, Our leadership never came from the business sector or the legal sector. Okay. And this is the reason why people got a problem with the older heads, who believe we got to elect Reverend so and so rather than electing a businessman or entrepreneur or so and so as leader, as congressman or whatever the case may be. We always want to take a deacon or a reverend in the black community because though we historically because historically the black church has been the only institution where a black man could rise up into leadership ranks, and that's the only source that's been tapped into higher positions. The first governor, the first lieutenant governor of Louisiana, before because he became a, when he came governor of Louisiana, same way. They always pick somebody from the clergy or from the church background to be part of leadership. And so because of that, because of lack of how can I say it? Because of the lack of venues where black people could rise up into national leadership, the church was the only place where like we have to go to. And so it attracts charlatans like Jamal Bryant and Eddie Long. It also attracts people, idiots like that, like Bishop Patrick Wooden. You know, it attracts these preachers, and they're trying to chase after the model of MLK. Right. The part of the problem is people only follow black men if he comes from the church, sports, entertainment, or reform. That's been my major problem. That's been my major problem, TD, because nobody thinks of um Professor, what's his name, um the Professor Dyson. No, and I'm not talking about that. I ain't talking about a light skinned nigga who wear the glasses. Fuck him. I'm talking about the science dude. You know, we got black scientists. We got black labor leaders. Okay, I'm talking black. I'm talking about black men, right? They don't. We don't look at them as leaders. Black men come from business law get ignored because they're not performative. Right, right. Because it seems to me my problem is they want performative, not a scholarly. Um, I was having a conversation last night with a woman, and she was trying to pick my brain. Well, like she knew me for 20 years, and well, she was doing more than picking my brain. But anyway, the thing is that's I'm talking about that's I don't know why I put my business out there. But anyway, the thing was right. She was saying, and she she is a black woman, and she said, well, Well, you are smart. Why ain't doing X, Y? What's going on, Cat? What's going on, Cat? Go on, Cat Smith. Yeah, Cat. I'm troubled by what I heard on your channel. But I'm glad you and your husband doing good and shit. I hope you have a good time up there building that house in Kentucky. So yeah, but and I said no, they're not going to opt for somebody who's into science, who's into history. They're not going to, you know, and they want somebody who scream and shout. You said, "Dang, I need to get out of Kansas City to find uh peace in my life." Well, you know, uh, you know, well, Cat, you're going to have peace. You know, with you and your husband are building, you're going to have peace, and and what happened to Tiffany? Yeah, yeah. I think that will be what happened after what happened to Tiffany. I think, though, in my opinion, I think that was the best option for you, especially what happened to her and um and all of that. But yeah, but as for the other topic, I don't blame you. I don't blame you one fucking bit about your sentiments about the other woman. Oh, you said, I'll be back for the trial in June. Okay. Okay. Well. Fill us in, Cat. Fill me in, Cat. 'Cause me and V Dubs here and Piers here. So fill us in on that. So, Queen. Here's the thing, Queen. It's so much. I'm talking about 4 or 5 things at the one time. Uh. Okay. I appreciate it, Queen. Like Queen. You usually, Queen. I really that's just frustration. Okay, that's really frustration when I hear stupidity, right? When I hear dumb shit, and hearing dumb shit makes me want to just, like, I can't, and you trying to tell these Negroes that no, this is not, and they still on, that's why. But that's why I came back to my channel. I got time to go on nobody's panels anymore. You know, I don't go on nobody's panels anymore because I don't got time to talk to y'all. Talk to them. You know, what's the point of screaming and shouting at people at this point? I'm old right now. So, and that's why it's I have a problem. Wait a minute. I'm sorry. I'm all over the place. Let me get back to, because I'm all over the place right now. Y'all got to forgive me. How we are viewed as men, right? Um, it seems everybody wants to adapt the MLK path, right? When MLK, Dr. King path is not the only path, right? And the thing is, when him is, he was, quote unquote, created because he was trying to appeal to the Judeo-Christian belief of America. He's trying to be the conscience of America by using it, by using his Christianity, right? So that's why the MLK, Dr. King was used on on that level, or was created. When I say created, I mean created as a uh, as part of the leadership. I see Taz up in the chat room, but overall, like this whole Jamal Bryant shit, right? It's a reason why. Um, it's a reason why black male leadership will not be trusted, especially what Roland Martin did to old girl. All right, especially after what Jamal Bryant did to her, you know, co-opted what she was doing and then fucked it up. And then what Roland Martin was doing with his old talented tenth ass. I used to be a fan of Roland Martin. Used to be until I got tired of that baby boomer bullshit he was trying to do. Now he was already bad enough when he tried to explain why the youth, quote unquote, the youth don't want what's that guy from South Carolina? What's his name from South Carolina? Jim Clyburn. Jim Clyburn gonna run for another term of office, and he got on his channel telling us how we shouldn't get mad because that means seniority. No, Jim Clyburn is part of the problem. You know what? I need to do a separate live stream on that. I might need to do a separate live stream on that because that is problematic. That a man who's 85 years old is running for another term when he been in office when most of us were in elementary school, if not born, not even born yet, and he's going to run for the 20th time. Yeah. Shout. Hey, it is a Marcel running again. Please tell me Marcel running again because I like to interview him again. I want to interview Marcel again. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna email him myself. I'm gonna email Marcel Dixon again. I get Roland's point, but it's not just okay. Let's use what they did to Amanda Edwards in Houston. I'm still pissed off what they did to Amanda Edwards. Yeah, like after he lost, he actually Marcel dropped out of sight after he lost. Yeah, he kind of just dropped out of sight. I ain't hear him on social media. But my problem with Marcel, right, is I understand what he's trying to do, and I know somebody's gonna get pissed off of what I'm about to say. Stop hanging around with Tariq Nasheed. That's all I'm going to say. I'm gonna leave that alone because you're trying to create a movement, but then you can't create a movement when you got Tariq Nasheed sitting right by you. No, sorry, no. Anyway, I know that's gonna piss off V-Dub off of what I just said, but no, you gotta separate yourself from Tariq. But like he lost to Jim Clyburn. That's what happened. He lost against Jim Clyburn. But I think part of the problem is that the black church. No, you say, oh, you're not tripping? Okay. You're not tripping? Okay. The problem with Jim Clyburn is that he's backed by the black church, the black pastors in South Carolina. Well, he didn't just lose. He got whooped. Like he did. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. Let's not. Yeah, he did. Um, and I'm gonna say the politics of 2024. I think everybody ran at the wrong time. When I said ran at the wrong time, I mean the talking points. You know, because they didn't. I don't think people foreseen what's going on today. I think some of these pro-black uh politicians who AUS, FBA. I don't think they foreseen what's happening today. See, I foreseen war with Iran, war with Venezuela. I see, the evangelical. See, my problem is the evangelical community needs to be stopped. MAGA needs to be stopped, and then y'all just ignoring that because Kamala is having put her greens in bathtubs, and whether she's Asian or black, these are dumb arguments. These are arguments shouldn't be having. The argument is we got to stop the evangelical community, the white evangelicals. We got to stop them because they're trying to have World War III so they can usher in what they believe is the second coming. So they'd rather start wars all over the place so that we can usher in, the golden age, quote unquote. And if they actually read that Bible, the Bible did not tell y'all to do that. See, y'all got that from the Scofield Bible. Oh, you know what? I might do a video on the Scofield Bible because, the Scofield Bible told them to do that. The Scofield Bible been around since the 1890s. Right, the evangelicals want the second coming. The Israelis want the first coming. And yet, hold on. And when you talked about Shiite Islam, talking about Shiite Islam, they want the 12th Imam to come back. The 12th, when you talk about the 12th Imam, they believe that the 12th Imam, if you follow Shiite Islam, he comes from Afghanistan. He comes out from the wilderness of Afghanistan, and then he's going to usher in their version of the apocalypse. So y'all have to put it into the proper, So that's all what these people want. They'd rather sacrifice lives, kill people, just to usher in this, But you try to tell these people this. Oh, you're anti this. You're anti-Semitic. You're anti Christian. You're anti, such and such and such and such. Or you when it comes to those who are in Islam, you're anti, you're Islamic phobe. All of that though, So so I that's why I look at some of these candidates, and I look at them all upside their fucking head, like, what the fuck wrong with y'all? Y'all don't see what Trump is doing. And let me say this right now. Now, y'all saw the guy named Joe Kent. Listen, I'm into an anti-ushering of the end of the world. Yes, I'm anti Armageddon. I'm anti-Armageddon. I'm on the same way. I'm on the same sentiments with you. I'm not here to usher in the end of the world. You know, that same Bible tell you be fruitful and to multiply. Why should I be end of something when the Bible tells you be fruitful and multiply? You know, you gotta explain that. You want everybody to have kids, but then you want the end of the world at the same time. Make that make sense. Sharia law is not going to happen in the United States. I'm sorry. Sharia law is not going to happen. I know y'all are fearful of that. It's not going to happen like that. Do like they know the people with the weapons going to be the first of the 1/3 wipe away? Right, right. You know, but speaking about this about Joe Kent guy, I'm gonna let y'all know something. Mark my words. If you see y'all know Joe Kent resigned in protest against Donald Trump. I want you to understand. JD Vance is about to do it too. He's about to break with Trump. It's coming. See, this is my problem with the baby boomers. The baby boomer generation. JD Vance served what, despite how we think of JD Vance, despite how we may think of JD Vance served in Iraq and Afghanistan. So does Joe Kent. Okay? Joe Kent and JD Vance were actively in service in Afghanistan and Iraq. They know who is an imminent threat or not because they've been there. They've been on the ground walking, marching, shooting, whatever. So when Big Papa Trump decided to go to Iran and do all this, notice JD Vance was not enthusiastic going into Iran. JD Vance is going to stab Donald Trump in the back. He's going to break away from Trump. It's coming. And JD Vance can't get fired. What can Trump do? He can't fire JD Vance. What are you gonna do? Oh, well, I'm just gonna no. JD Vance gonna sit right there and say, it was lazy of Vance to knowing, TD. I don't know. It was lazy, or he was trying to play the long game. He attached himself to Trump to get to a place that's more operable for him in 2028. Right. But I don't blame him. I would listen, TD. I would done it too. I would have done it too. If Kamala Harris would came to me 2 years ago and say, Big J, I need a millennial. And let me say this about the Democrats. That's why I don't like the Democrats. The Democrats needed a younger candidate. Why pick what's his name? Waltz. Why pick Waltz? pick a young man. Pick a younger person. Pick somebody who's like 30, 35, 40 years old to be VVP. Because they're the ones doing the fighting and dying. We don't need no more baby boomers. I'm sorry. We don't. We don't need people who had gray hair who fought who's still trying to fight the Vietnam War and shit. And that's why and do not get me talking about, oh, what about Governor what's that guy, the governor from California, Newsom? Stop trying to push Newsom on people. This is my problem with Democrats. Stop trying to push people who doesn't earned it. Okay? That's why Hillary lost in 2008. Y'all try to push Hillary onto everybody. And I'm glad people rejected it and voted for Obama. Because I got tired of people, ever since 2000 up to 2008, everybody say, we want Hillary, we want Hillary. So I'm glad people rejected it and chose Obama instead. But Newsom should not be pushed at all. Because why would you push a guy from a state who's losing population? Why wouldn't you push a person, a candidate who's governor of a state where people are leaving the state, not coming to it? That would be the first thing, though. I would have said, listen, wait. Why should we vote for you, Newsom, when Californians are moving to Texas and Florida? Right, yeah. They pushed her over Bernie too when his momentum was crazy. Right, because listen, y'all need to look up the West Virginia Democratic Party primary in West Virginia. She stole that election in West Virginia. She stole that because that was a tipping point. California helps carry the country economically, but TD, you might be correct, but you need the agriculture community, and you also need the farming community and the energy sector. Oh, Marty, Miss Brown, Marlon Melvin Brown. Okay, what's going on? So yeah, I that's what I think, though, man. I don't know why people want to push Newsom on everybody. I wish people would stop that. But I'm gonna say that this. I think CNN and MSNBC is pushing promoting Newsom on to everybody, and that's really the problem. And plus, though, what Newsom said the other day when he was at that black what's it called, that he did a podcast, I think, with the black community. What's it called? I forgot what it's called. He fucked that up, though. So I hope that ends his campaign. I hope that really ends his campaign, if you ask me. Just like NYC, too many people leaving there too. what they should do is spread out the population out. You know, the problem with NYC is too crowded. I think they need to do is spread that population out. You know, what kills me, how people from these poor are demonized. The best jobs, the best education is Massachusetts and Michigan. Michigan and Massachusetts are the best states when it comes to education and jobs. The people who keep representing that was the white audit, yeah. hmm Metadol, most illegals are in red states. Let me tell you right now, the most illegals are in red states. I don't know why people like you believe this shit. Most of your illegals are in Texas and Florida and Arkansas. Too many subsides in New York to leave. Subsidies or subsidies? Okay. That's why they keep building up in New York to fit the influx of people. I mean, with Newsom, that was not a black crowd he spoke to. Metadol. You there is an international way to read road signs. I mean, the road signs is not, they have the same color and the same pattern. So red, yellow, and green is universal. I mean, I can drive in Bulgaria, and it's red, yellow, and green. All right. Um. So you might not understand the language, but yet the road signs, you know, is universal. So I mean, the problem is we allowing the wrong people to come up in here. You know, we allowed the real fraff to come up in here. So we got a MAGA nut. Ooh, 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 yeah, 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 man. I guess TD talking about Metadol. Metadol. She's one of those black conservatives. So she's on that black conservative shit. But okay. About the reparations bill in California, how is California going to pay for that? How is California going to pay for the reparations? And California is not even a slave state. For one, they're not a slave state. So why should they pay reparations? I think the reparations movement, they go. That's why I just have a problem with the focus on some of these movements, because they're targeting the wrong people. California should not be paying for reparations. Texas, Arkansas, Louisiana, you know, the former Confederacy. All right, states that had slaves like New York. Slaves since 1788. All right, 1776 or something like that. Okay, go back from there. Was all them states was the first 13, 14, 15 states of the Union. Start there. All the first 15 states were what? Slave states at one point. California only became a state in what? 1849, 1848. Wait a minute. Yeah, it came a state the same time Texas became a state. Yeah, because they needed free state. They needed free state and a slave state. So since Texas was a slave state, they made California as a balance against Texas at the time. So yeah, so why should California pay reparations when Texas in the slave states on the east side of the country? You know what? Let me leave that alone. Let me leave that alone. Let me leave that alone. It just that's let me get out of that because California did have slaves. Reverence is a federal responsibility, point blank. Right, right, right. I believe it should be a federal responsibility, not a state responsibility. You know, if you ask me, long time, long time, Jermaine. I ain't seen from you in a long ass minute, Jermaine. Long ass time. Of course is not coming. I know it's not coming because the people who's speaking should not be the people who's speaking for it. You got Tyreek is in the way. I'm sorry, Tyreek is in the way. Tyreek Nasheed and the AOS people, they're in the way. You know, they're really playing interference. It's not coming. They need to stop it with the reparations. Yeah, okay. I actually think the reparations movement is dead anyway. It's dead now. I mean, so I don't know what to say. Yeah, I ain't seen Jermaine in a minute. Are you hold on, let me get back to you. You going on TRS still? I ain't been on TRS in a minute. I know they were live last week, but I ain't went over there. I ain't went over there, so I ain't went over there in about a good ass month, 2 months at least. I ain't been over there in a minute because I had to worry about some bullshit over here. So anyway, I'm gonna say it right now. I think I have a better concept about people getting their money what they owe. I have a better concept, but people don't want to hear that because they thinking, well, let me just get me a check. No, that's not. You know. Oh, you still support Tyrone? Okay. Yeah, but I don't see you over there as over there. The times I come over there. Um. Then again, I haven't been over there in a minute. I ain't been on Tyrone's channel in a minute. So I think that see I think I have a better idea when it comes to the reparations issue and Nagom. I think I talk about this with Nagom with Nagom 11 and the Black Brain Trust folks. And you know what? I think the Black Brain Trust needs to be reactivated. I think they need to reactivate it. The Black Brain Trust, you know, over there. But I was on MOT's channel, and it was brought up briefly, and I said over there that you got to create a and shout out to Mike V, because he was over there. I said you got to create an infrastructure bank similar to what South Dakota did in the 1930s, where the money, everybody gets a dividend. Alaska has a dividend when it comes to oil. If you are a citizen in Alaska, you get a check in the mail by how much oil is being produced. Now, my idea is we create an infrastructure bank. It'd be a public-private institution, and we do trade. We do economic trade and loans, right? And every dividend that's being whatever is produced outside of this banking, the dividend should go accordingly to the descendants of the Freeman Bureau, of those who are in the Freeman's Bureau. Everybody should get a check at the end of every year. It'd be a chartered bank. And on top of that, though, if any of the nations that want to invest in Black America, uh, you know, I'll put it like this. Let's say I'm gonna use the Caribbean and the African nations, right? Let's say I'm gonna use Liberia, right? If Liberia needs a new railroad, or they need a new in infrastructure, we supply them with we supply them with a fair trade agreement attached to the loans that we give them, and thus when they pay us back, we are outside of the IMF. We're not a part of the IMF. We're not part of the World Bank. So when they trade with America, trade with us first. We got the slim pickings first. We have the pick of the litter first. So black American contractors would have the first dibs in Liberia or Sierra Leone or Zimbabwe or Zambia or whatever nations in Africa that want to do trade with us, and we'll get the we'll get the and whatever they pay us back, we get the dividends. But I said something about that the other day. People didn't want to hear that because it's too it's not sexy as cut us a check. It's not as it's not sexy. So I think my idea is more practical, and it's a workaround, in my opinion. It's really a workaround than what they're trying to advocate. What is she laughing about? What's so funny, Queen? What's so funny? And yeah, it's not sexy. Like, cut me a check. Like, I don't think though that's workable. The whole cut me check argument. You know, you say it's not. Well, it's not. It's not sexy. It's not. I know sex for lack of a better word. It's better than just get. That's meta. That's what I'm talking about. It's not just that's what I'm saying. It's consistent cash flow, right? You know what? I might have to write that down. You know what? I've written it down. I need to put that off on my agenda for Saturday. Um, yeah, I'll put that on my agenda for Saturday. But yeah, um, it's better than just get. Yeah, exactly. If you have like a 200 year charter, right? A 200 year charter of payments back to the African American community of the descendants of slaves, and well, everybody get their check at the end of the year. You know, $1,000, $500. Depending on how good though we what is pay back. I think that would be a better option than these African states. And I'm gonna use Africa as an example here. I wouldn't say it's just with Africa itself, but I think though that Africa would not be dependent. Yeah, the IMF would not allow it. That's the problem. If you get Africa out of the IMF and get Africa out of the World Bank, and it come through us, yeah. I mean, we got the first step on that. Here's how though I would do it, Jermaine. And Jermaine, you know how I think, Jermaine. You might know how I think. 'Cause me and you used to talk years ago. I think though we establish it here first. Then on the second, third, dirt year of our, I call it the Freeman's infrastructure bank, right? If we do this infrastructure bank on the third year, we try to expand it to allow international trade. You got to decouple Africa's dependence, or like I'm gonna use Liberia, Sierra Simone, Zambia, and Zimbabwe. If we decouple them from the IMF and go straight to the African American community, we get to control a lot of wealth will be garnered to us, to the African American community, and not the IMF, not the World Bank. But people try to. I was in the British black sector. Shout out to the black UK sector. They actually liked it. They actually like what I said. They like what I said though over there. Shout out to GG blocking them. But I just think that I think the first step, Jermaine, is get the IMF out of there. Hold on, why not just follow the reparations model that worked in Germany or elsewhere? Huh? Huh? Well, TD, tell me more about. You know what? I'll go out. I'm going to research on that. I'm going to read research on that, TD, on the reparations model. Excuse me, that work in Germany. Okay, I'm going to. Excuse me. I'm going to follow. I got to read up on that. I'm gonna read up on that. You know. the issue is that most African countries already owed IMF billions. You know what? I got to read research about the IMF though, and also the World Bank. Yeah, I got research on the World Bank and IMF. Let's not forget that Africa also owns the World Bank as well. Um, yeah, yeah, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to do some research on that, Jermaine. So yeah, but anyway, let me get off of here. I rambled and said what was on my mind because I began this with just speaking about Cat Smith's live stream yesterday, and I was troubled by what I was hearing. Shout out to her though. Um, and now I'm over here rambling about my reparations idea, or my alternative to reparations. Um, so anyway, yeah, I'm all over the place with this live stream. So anyway, let me get out of here. I might come back with a topic tomorrow, I guess, especially with the Joe Kent, and I think that JD Vance is going to uh go after Trump, or not go after Trump, but be more resistant to Trump. I see that coming. So you get out of here, and thank y'all for watching, and I'm out of here. Peace.
I am not here to debate with anyone. I have devoted all of my adult life to this subject. I only debate with my equals. All others I teach.